Hi, this is Madeleine Humphries for Cosmo Up Close. When I started acting, I was told that Madeleine wasn't relatable. So Mr. M, I was part of Star Magic Circle, and Mr. M was the one who discovered me. And he chose Carla for me. And I guess at that age, I was 12 and I was still discovering who I was. And when you're being groomed to be launched in Star Magic, they kind of like prep you. So they colored my hair, I had braces, and I was just very conscious of who I had to be, and I was never able to be the most organic form of who I was. And of course, as a young girl, you don't really know who that is. Now, fast forward years later, I'm already a woman, but I still never was able to get to know who Madeleine was. And I felt like I'm so grateful to the name Carla because I was able to do so many things with that name and create so many beautiful things with it, but it didn't feel like it was true to who I was. And when I decided to move out here, I wanted to kind of reinvent myself. And because I was at a place where there was nothing really grounding me, so I felt like there's so many possibilities. Other girls my age, a lot of my friends were married, starting to have kids and settled down. They kind of got their grounding and got to know like the woman they wanted to become and like kind of turn the page into the next chapter, where as I kind of still felt lost, I kind of still was searching for my purpose. And I decided to move out here in a week. And I just figured, if I'm gonna come out here, and I was born in San Francisco, so it's kind of like me coming back to the place I was born and coming back to the place where, Madeleine really was just Madeleine. And so I let go of my screen name and I decided to call myself Madeleine, or call me Mads as my Instagram is, because all my friends call me Mads. And my first ever project that I was billed as Madeleine right before I left, I was able to be a part of a short film, which I also was able to co-produce. It was my first producing credit, and it was for Greenpeace, and it's called Before We Disappear, which was a campaign to basically preserve La Union. To be the best version of yourself, you have to really be in touch, be self-aware, and go back to that little girl or little boy in you. And there's so many things in this world that make us kind of preempt or think or do things because it's socially accepted. And when I was young, before I was discovered, I was an artist. I was the one that was always in a bonnet. You could never see my eyes. I didn't talk much, and I would just be doodling and drawing the whole time. And I was so shy, and it was just through workshops that I started, becoming more outspoken. And I kind of missed that little quiet artist. And I think that's what I'm trying to retap. I think the things that make us feel awkward and weird as a young child are the things that are the best part of us as we get older. It's our greatest asset because it sets us apart and it makes you shine in a different way because you're unique. When I came out here, I didn't have any preconceived notions. I wasn't like, I'm gonna come here and I'm gonna like be an actress. No, I was like, you know what? Let me see if I can live here. Let me see if I can sustain a life. Let me see if I can be happy here. And the week I was here, I was exposed to the most amazing humans. My LA family, the Bosco family. I know that it's gonna be hard starting from scratch if I'm gonna commit to moving to a brand new country. And it's gonna be so scary, and I have no family out here. When I met the Bosco family, it kind of gave me the courage that, you know what, if I'm lost or if I fall down or if something bad happens to me, I have someone in LA that will care about me. So when I came here and things just felt right and it just felt like things were falling into place, I didn't give myself the luxury to overthink it because I tend to overthink. And I just told my parents, I was like, Mom, Dad, I think I'm moving to Los Angeles. And they're like supportive, you know, I guess because they kind of saw that it was the next step for me. And I came out here and I thought that I was gonna come back and forth. You know, I just get my feet wet, plant some seeds and go back to the Philippines. And then the pandemic hit. It was so overwhelming because at least the Philippines is a monster I know. And the United States, such a big country, and everything was unfamiliar to me. You know, it's very easy to be hard on yourself when you're starting from scratch and, you know, you're already somewhat established where you are. It's like the expectation is a lot, and at the same time, if you're like me, who I'm very hard on myself and I care a lot about what my loved ones will say and all that, I just didn't want it to cloud my judgment, and I wanted to basically like kind of wipe my slate clean and just be myself without anyone watching. And since it was a huge part of me kind of finding myself, I wanted to go through that journey without any other voices in my head. Not only am I experiencing being in a new country and learning everything, like it's already scary enough to move somewhere new and just figuring out the day-to-day. I moved here and the world shut down. Mentally, I was still in Manila because everyone I loved, everyone I cared about, aside from the new people, the new relationships I had here, were all in Manila. It was kind of like the universe saying, okay, you want to get to know yourself here. You're going to be alone for a very long time, so you better enjoy your own company. And because of that, like I kind of surprise myself, appreciate myself, realize my resilience, realize my strength. Because, you know, a lot of people come out here and, you know, the reality is maglalaba ka, maghuhugas ka ng pinggan, you're going to look for a job. And your credentials may not be applicable here, and you're gonna figure out the big things like getting your driver's license and getting health insurance. And I had to do those things during a pandemic, and I had to figure these things on my own. So it was really challenging, but it was really empowering, one by one being able to accomplish these things and just like gain more confidence and relying on myself. It's kind of shameful when I think about it that a lot of like the simple things in life, like mailing a package or the proper way to wash whites, stuff like that, it's like I'm too old to not know this. But coming out here, it's like, okay, like, and I'm really proud of myself because it wasn't like I came here and I got into a relationship and I had like a man to lean on. I was able to establish myself and be in a good place on my own. And I think like it's funny because growing up, I think we're very conditioned as Filipino women to kind of just aspire to have a strong man by your side to help you and to just lean on. So it's crazy how the mind is so powerful, and if you limit yourself, then that's really all you'll achieve. But when you're put in a situation where you have to make things happen, you have to figure it out, you'll be surprised what you're capable of. And that's one of the main reasons why I think I grew so much here. Even when I was still in Manila, my family and I, we would spend Sundays together. So we still do that every week, and we play these trivia games. We play like Jeopardy. We just like talk. All my whole family has pets, so they show me their pets. My girlfriends, we have our occasional calls. I do FaceTime regularly with Selene and Tilan. three of my friends yesterday, Sam B. Rodriguez, Bianca King, and Beauty Gonzalez, we're doing this thing where we watch a series and we talk about it. We just get creative. Actually, in the peak of the pandemic, I did a makeup tutorial just to talk to them. I never put it out, but I made myself up as if I was gonna do an online date, and it was just for my girlfriends. I think this whole pandemic, I've also kind of just been able to detach from some people and kind of make the bonds with the people that are in my life right now even stronger. Sometimes when you're depressed, you feel like the world closing in on you. But once you snap out of it, you realize that everything is going to be okay. And that just because there's a pandemic going on doesn't mean that you have to stop dreaming. Doesn't mean that you don't deserve the things you want in life and you shouldn't strive and drive towards them. It doesn't mean all that. It just means that we're going through something collectively. There's something to take away from it. There's something to learn. And once we get past this, we're gonna be stronger than ever. So yeah, when I came out here, I didn't have any expectations. But then I was like, who am I kidding? All I want to do in life is act. I don't act because it's my job. I act because I need it to survive. It's my form of release. It's where I feel the most myself, the most empowered. And I feel like I'm contributing the most when I'm acting or doing something creative. And so I was able to book my first union commercial, which is huge because a lot of actors come out here and it takes years for them to get representation, or it's a catch-22 situation because out here, the huge difference between our industry in the Philippines and the industry in the US is that there's a union. So there's SAG. And to become part of SAG, you have to have a number of projects that are SAG, and then you become SAG eligible. But majority of the time, to book a SAG project, you have to be SAG. I was lucky enough that my first commercial was a SAG commercial. That's kind of how I feel like I'm meant to be here because things are happening naturally. But of course, I'm still striving. It's still an uphill battle, but it's okay because I'm here for the longevity of it. I have a love-hate relationship with my career, just because when you love something so much, sometimes you get heartbroken and you need time to recoup. But I just love film and TV and music, that it doesn't matter if I'm in front of the camera, behind the camera. It doesn't matter if I'm part of the early stages and not part of the end. I just feel the most alive when I'm around like-minded people wanting to create something out of nothing and tell stories. And I feel really energized being out here. In spite of everything, I was able to do something, to be on set, which is a place I love. And I really don't take that for granted. And I really hope it continues because it just assured me that you're at the right place. Keep going, keep striving. And I know it's tough, but if you love something that much, then no matter what's going on in the world, then you'll be able to do it. And I don't know, I'm taking it a day at a time and I'm figuring things out, but today I have work, so today's a good day, you know? I never really sang in the Philippines, and I had a lot of stage fright with regards to singing because when I was young, I made piyok. I think I was 14, and then somebody told me don't ever sing again, and I believed them, so I never sang again until I moved to France. When I was in France, my ex-boyfriend was a music producer and a singer, and he found out I could sing, and so he encouraged me to sing. And when we went our separate ways, I kind of lost the confidence again. Part of me rediscovering Madeleine yet again is just not being afraid to sing. because it's another thing I love, and because I love it so much, I have high standards for it. Just like how when I was young, I never called myself an actress because I felt like I need to prove myself as an actress before I can claim I'm an actress. I am getting to know myself, and it's been really good for me, but I think that I'm still blooming and I'm still discovering so much. Part of that is discovering my voice, and I think it's gonna be really great once I do. Like, great as in freeing great. I would definitely visit my family and just hug everyone I love. If I could bring the vaccine to everyone, I would. I wanna go to the beach. I wanna go to the beach and swim. And I just wanna see the faces I love and feel their presence and let them know how much I care about them, and just see everyone healthy and happy again. I just can't wait to share my love and appreciation and celebrate life, to celebrate each other and be happy.